All right, this is problem number 47 on section 4.2 in calculus, and we're trying to use a limit process to find the area of the region between the graph of the function, the x-axis, and the given interval, and so they've asked us to sketch it, so I sketched it over here quickly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide this into rectangles, and we're gonna make an infinite amount of rectangles to get a better approximation of the area under the curve. And so what we're really doing is we're going to take the limit as n approaches infinity of the sum of all those rectangles. So I need to kind of come up with this sum first. So instead of carrying that limit stuff along, just as kind of a bother, I'm just going to first come and calculate what S of n is. So the sum is going to be from 1 to infinity, but I mean, that's going to happen when I take the limit. This is supposed to be I equal 1. It's hard to, this thing's not picking up well. So I'm going to do that. I got to figure out how to describe my rectangles. Well, if I'm going from 0 to 1, I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm going to end at 1. I started at 0, and I'm going to divide it into n rectangles. So 1 minus 0 over n is 1 over n. So each of my rectangles is going to have the same base, 1 over n. Now, their height is going to be the y value, which is going to be on that function, on that line, for whatever rectangle I'm on, wherever I'm kind of actually doing the left-hand sum here. So I've got to describe the y value. And the y value, which is going to be my height, is going to be -2. And depending on what y I'm on, what iteration I'm on I equal 1 or I equal 2 or I equal 3, that x value is going to be described by I over n. And so it's -2 times I over n, and then I got the plus 3. Okay. So now, one of the things I'm going to do to kind of make my algebra easier is pull the 1 over n out, just so I can just kind of focus on, it goes with, it would be like distributed to both of those terms, but I'm just going to pull it out front so it's a little easier to get through the math here. Because that's usually what gives people trouble. Okay, so sum of 1 over n. Now I'm going to kind of divide these into two separate sums. I've got -2i over n for the first term. Man, this is really not picking up. That's a -2i over n. And then sum plus the sum I equal 1. Come on, pick up. Sorry. All the free apps have gone away. This is the one left, and it's not great. And then it's 3. Now the good thing about that 3 there, I'm kind of using a different color now, is I'm going to keep my 1 over n. Oh, that's bad. Let me go down to that. I'm going to keep my 1 over n out front. But then again, okay, so now I'm going to, on the first sum here, I'm going to pull -2 over n out. And now I've got the sum I equal 1 to n of I. And there's a formula for that. So that's where I'm going with that. I want to use that formula. Now, on the second term, the sum I equal 1 to n of 3 would just be 3n. So let me go ahead and simplify that. All right, so now I've got, let me try to put it in the space over here. I've got, I'm going to have the 1 over n out front. It goes with everything. So in here, I've got the -2 over n. I can tell this is not going to fit. Let me go on the next line. I'm going to have the 1 over n out front. And then I've got the -2 over n pulled out. I'm going to replace the sum of I equal 1 to n of I with that formula, n times n plus 1 over 2. And then I've got plus 3n. Okay. I'm going to have to go to another paper. Let's add. Now, I have got all that pulled out. So now what I'm going to do is I've got -2n. I'm going to go distribute now that 1 over n over 2. And then I've got no, I'm sorry, that's an n on the bottom. -2n over, sorry, I'm flipping the page. I lost my work, so I'm kind of getting lost about where I am. Let's see, I have 1 over n times -2 over n times n plus 1 all over 2 plus 3n. I think if I recopy it, it'll help me here. Okay, so that's, I think, where we were on the before I flipped this screen. All right, so this is going to be, if you look at this inside here, I could cancel the 2's out. I can cancel an n out. So I'm going to do that first, just in that, reduce that one fraction. So this is going to become negative, and there's a 1, and I've just got an n plus 1. And then when I bring that n on the inside, I've got this, okay? And then, so I've distributed this times this. Now I'm going to go this times this. So that's going to be plus 3n over n. Okay. So now I just got to simplify this and take the limit. So I've got negative n over n minus 1 over n, and then 3n over n is just plus 3, right? Well, isn't that negative 1 minus 1 over n plus 3? So that's going to be, negative 1 and 3 would be 2 minus 1 over n. So I'm going to take the limit as n approaches infinity of 2 minus 1 over n, and I'm just going to get 2. And so that's how that one's done.